Hello and welcome to Studio Blocks. My name is Weird and Bearded. Today is going to be a bit of a different episode. It's going to be a very talky episode because I had a comment at the end of the last episode from Akerfray asking about the mods. So I figured let's just devote an entire episode to talking about the mods. I feel like I've said episode far too many times already. So yeah, we're going to talk about the mods, including a demonstration of the mod that we haven't even seen yet, because until today it was on the list of mods and I suddenly realised I completely forgot to actually add it to our mod pack. So we've got something brand new, which I've not tested yet, which we're going to be looking at. I am very excited, but we're going to do that right at the end. It should be quite spectacular if it's working, hopefully. But let's start off talking about the standard things. I'm not really going to go into any detail of these things. Basically, they're all just there to reduce lag. So it's stuff like sodium, lithium, iridium, starlight, memory leak, ferrite core, entity culling. You'll see these on a lot of servers. They're there to reduce lag. Of course, links to everything is going to be down in the description. Then we can talk about some of the big stuff that we've got. Stuff that we've already been using a lot, stuff that it's just proving incredibly useful, and stuff that we haven't really used much yet, but again, it's going to prove very useful. So one of the things that the admin team were discussing when we were putting this mod pack together, we didn't want big mods like the create mod, because that could kind of be its own separate series, its own separate game almost. We wanted things that complement Minecraft and will help with recording stuff. That's what this is all about. It's about doing big recording ideas. So we wanted mods to help with that. So, first of all, travel to get resources and stuff is a pain. So we have got the Waystones mod on here. Right click on a Waystone. We've got already quite a lot of them about. We're going to be tidying them up. I mean, I've got one on here which just says far away. So yeah, I'll be tidying all of the Waystones up once we got ourselves more established. There are things called share stones on this mod, where, first of all, you don't have to find them first. They're just already on that list, but also you can sort them by colours. We can have different networks for different things, a network for the farms, etc. It's going to be pretty good. Also, the fact that it works across dimensions, which was quite the experiment. That proves very useful. So we can just jump into the nether. We can jump through to... Got one in the end. Still before the ender dragon. I'm going to quickly head back to the nicer village. That's where we've kind of settled down for now. So yeah, the fact that we can jump between dimensions, obviously jump between builds. We're going to be building sets. They're going to be big. We're going to be spaced out. So the Waystones mod, very useful. Next, for building these sets, we're splitting the studio into two parts. We've got one part where mods aren't going to be used, another one where mods will be used, and I imagine a mod that will be used quite a lot is Chisel and Bits. Now, I've not done much with Chisel and Bits. I know somebody's got a base with Chisel and Bits, Miss Cosmic Cupid. I haven't asked about showing the base, so I'm not going to, but I did spot the other day, which really made me laugh. Somebody has used Chisel and Bits to make a small staircase, because you can break blocks down by pixel and combine pixels from different blocks together, which is super fun. Initially, I did actually have Chisel and Bits used in my starter base, which we're going to be building soon, but I realised that I had about 2,500 blocks of it, and it was causing quite a lot of lag, so I've done a bit of a redesign. Then we have the identity mod. Again, very useful. So this is particularly going to be useful with filming. Let's say, for example, the example I've always been giving, if somebody is making a zombie movie. Zombies are very difficult to direct. However, players who look like zombies, this isn't going to hurt because I'm wearing armor. Much easier to direct. So we've got the identity mod. When you kill a mob for the first time, you gain its identity. You can become that mob. Some of them have special features, as you would expect. So with bees, you can fly. With the zombie, if you kill a villager, they turn into a zombified villager. So it's just a lot of fun. But then, of course, how else can we change ourselves? We've also got Pequi. This is a mod that we've not really used yet. It's actually one that only the admins have access to because it could very easily be game breaking. So we're only going to be using it for recording stuff, so for the big filming projects. But what this allows us to do, let me look at myself again while I do this. There is the scale function now, where I can, for example, divide myself. Let's go 4 times smaller. And now I'm a tiny wab. So obviously this isn't particularly useful. It also, as you can see, divides your speed and changes your fall height, stuff like that. It changes everything, and also you can set everything individually. But it's going to be a lot of fun, especially when filming. If you want somebody to be a little bit bigger for fantasy films, stuff like that, Pequi is going to be so useful. I am going to reset myself. Reset my base. Of course, don't have to divide. You can also multiply. There's a lot of things we can do. So let's make myself 4 times bigger. And then again, the speed increases. I can now just run straight up blocks because normally you can do that with half slabs. Blocks are now smaller than half slabs for me. So if I find a 2 block increase, I should be able to just run straight up that as well. Yeah. So we've got Pequi, and again we can combine that with the identity mod. So I could be a very large donkey. This has suddenly become very surreal. Hang on. There's the episode thumbnail. So let's turn back into me. Let's reset my scale again. Oh, much, much better. So then, of course, we have the various mapping mods, which will be very useful. So you can see I've got the mini-map up in the corner, which is great. We kind of were using a version which was PvP friendly, mainly because I saw that it didn't show all the mobs on screen, and that could be very annoying. It turns out you can actually just turn all those features off anyway. So I reverted back to the regular minimap. I think other people have started doing so as well. We then, of course, we've got the minimap. We also have the world map. But then we've got various areas on the world map. So over here, this is Eathman's Claim, because we have the open parties and claims mod on here as well. So you can make claims on the map, and then that area is yours. And only you and people in your party can interact with stuff in there. So we're going to be getting rid of claims later on, but certainly initially, when you found an area that you want as your own, if I were to head over to Eathman's Claim, in fact, you know what? I'm fairly sure I can get there through the waystones. I think I've got a waystone over to it. So let's do that. Let's use our mods. It's called the Hive. So you can see it appearing on the minimap. If I walk into it, it will then tell me that it's Eathman's Claim. Come on. I don't want to fall down. There we go. So now I know I'm in Eathman's Claim, so I know I'm not going to mess with anything here. I can't see any builds yet because he's not had time to start building, but I know there's going to be a build here, so I can find my own separate area. But then once people start actually putting the builds in place, the claims can come down so people can do stuff there. Because when I say you can't interact with anything, I really mean it. And when somebody wants to chop off their base and you can't open the door, it can get a little upsetting. But those aren't the only maps that we have. We also have Dynmap, which I don't think anybody's actually used yet. So let me show you our Dynmap. Bam! So if I were to run around on the server, you'll be able to see me moving about. I guess I'll probably put the link to our Dynmap down in the description. Doesn't really reveal anything. I mean, it tells you our IP, but the server's whitelisted. So yeah, we can run around on there. If I say hello in chat, it should appear. Yeah, there we go. It appears on the Dynmap. And then we can talk to each other through there as well if we're not actually on the server. So I am going to go back to my regular Minecraft view. And that's pretty all the big stuff. There's a lot of little stuff we'll talk about later, including the new one. Don't forget about the new one. I'm super excited about that. Then there's a lot of fairly big ones which I'm just kind of used to having, which is, it's just nice to have on the server. I don't know if everybody will be using them. I know there are some people who won't. I won't go into these in too much detail, as a lot of them will probably be fairly known to you. So we've got Bobby. Bobby is fantastic. If you don't know Bobby, I would recommend getting it, because you may notice I can see really far away. That's what Bobby does. Bobby lets you see really far away. So I don't actually remember what my view is set to. 25 chunks. And I could definitely set a tile. Let's go up to 30. It'll take a moment for everything to load back in. But I should be able to see even further away. So from here, I can see stuff that's not even on my mini-map. I should probably set it back down to 25. I imagine I put it there for a reason. So yeah, we've got Bobby. We have Lightmatica, of course, because I cannot live without Lightmatica. I'm a redstoner. I need it for my redstone builds. Do you really think we could have built the Iron Amphitheatre without Lightmatica? Then there's MiniHUD, which I used to use to see my coordinates and what direction I was facing. Now I've got that with the mini-map, but it is still useful for seeing light levels, for example. Which, when you're doing a build and you've got to get it all lit up, that is great to have. What else do I have on this list? Oh, we've got Tweakaroo and Item Scroller, which do a lot of things you don't tend to notice. I use it a lot for the FreeCAN. That's really the main thing I use it for. But it also changes how you can interact with chests, and honestly, I can't really talk about it that much, because I've used Item Scroller so long now that if I play without Item Scroller, it takes me a while to get used to the changes, because I can never remember what those changes are these days. It's just instinct to me. There's Continuity, which, for reasons which I'll go into later, doesn't actually work on the glass panes, but basically it's just connected textures. It's a way of doing it without having Optifine, because Optifine is for Forge, and we are playing on a Fabric server. There's the voice chat, which you will have seen in other episodes. That's how we're talking to each other, and the replay mod, obviously, for the time lapses. But then we can combine them, because we've got replay voice chats. So then, especially for, again, doing these big recordings, as long as you're all in a group, when you make a time lapse, you also get audio files for everybody's audio separately, which means balancing our voices for noise levels is going to be so much easier than it's been before. I'm really excited for getting to use that the first time. And then we've got the status mod. So I haven't actually set my status because there's nobody else online at the moment. But I'm open and recording, and then everybody else can just press tab and go, oh, WAB's open and recording. Let's go and see what's going on. And then finally, trade cycling. So if I find a villager that has not been traded with yet, and I've seen a villager wandering around, I don't know if anybody's traded with them. This just saves time. You've been traded with. But if there's a fresh villager not been traded with yet, like this farmer, rather than having to constantly break and replace the block, you can just cycle through the first trades until they're locked in. So that's all the standard stuff that I'm used to. Then there's stuff that I can't really talk about in too much detail because I don't really know them. So there's CIT Rezone, which is custom item textures. We've got a few texture-based mods which are going to allow us to add custom models into the game, things like that. I think with custom item textures, it also allows us to add custom models to the mobs. So we can get custom mobs in the game as well if we rename them. I can't wait for that to start happening with filming stuff. And we've got some filming stuff coming up. There are ideas in place, but, you know, we need to get all the farms and stuff going. First of all, we've got customizable elytra. I'm not allowed an elytra yet, so I can't show you customizable elytra, but you can split the elytra up into two separate wings, and then you can add custom designs to each wing. You saw you can dye them, you can also apply banners to them, and then you can put wings back together. So I don't know why that's useful, but it's going to be fun and pretty. Immersive paintings, you can add your own paintings to the game. I don't know if I'll ever be doing that because it shows the same as if you had made it using maps, and I really like making big maps. And I very rarely get the opportunity to do it, so I'll probably just be making maps. And then Skin Swapper, which I will show you Skin Swapper. So if I disconnect from the server, Skin Swapper is great. If you've got multiple skins, I don't actually have any on this version, but you can just go to the multiplayer area, click on change skins, and then you can select your skin. Let's get back onto the server. So then, as I said, we've got some other mods that I want to talk about right at the end because we've got the fun one to show. We've also got some data packs on the server. And a lot of these are the standard ones. A lot of them you'll find on Vanilla Tweaks. So we've got the armor statues mod. We've got Dragon dropping the egg, and I think it's just the egg. I can't remember if you've got it set for the Elytra. We've got mob heads. So if I look in these chests, I'm sure I've got some mob heads about. I've got a pollinated bee head. I've got, I think I've got I've got a grey trader llama head. So mobs have a chance of dropping their heads. We've actually changed one of them. So with the husk, as well as a chance of dropping their head, they are always going to drop a block of sand. So we have somebody currently working on a design for a sand farm, but that means that sort of TNT, concrete, stuff like that, they're going to be able to farm, which is going to be amazing. At the moment, we've got a mining desert, which has mostly been me. But soon, yes, sand farm. I am excited for that. We've got the custom nether portals, so this is a standard shape for a nether portal. We can make them as big or small as we want. We can make them weird shapes as long as they're still on that 2D plane. I think you can also have crying obsidian in the frames, so that's going to be super fun. Fast leaf decay. Oh, I love fast leaf decay so much. It is just so useful. In fact, I've got some saplings, I've got some bone meal. Let's show just how fast leaf decay is. I don't really want to be breaking other people's trees. Let's go. There we go. Some oak, some bone meal. I'm gonna get a big oak tree, aren't I? Oh no, I'm fine. So once I got rid of the logs, one more log, then they disappear nice and quickly. It just makes clearing areas really easy for us. I think this chest is empty. Yeah, I'll put you lot in there. I'll talk you about later. We have the sit mod, because sometimes you just want to sit down. So we trigger, we sit. We're all happy. Universal dyeing, so you can dye things that are already dyed, which is great. And then I think the only one that I haven't spoken about, quite a special one, which I've not tried yet. So we have 4 blocks of redstone, which we put into the corners. So all this stuff, of course, is farmable. Redstone dust is farmable. Fermented spider eyes made from spider eyes, which are farmable. Brown mushrooms, which are farmable. And sugar, which is farmable. We put those around the middle. And then end crystals. It's farmable, but it's expensive. Eye of Ender. So that's an ender pearl, farmable. Blaze rods, we've already got a farm for. You need a ghast tear, farmable. And then you need some glass, which is definitely farmable. In a few different ways now. Put that in the middle, and we have craftable barrier blocks. So, especially for sets, if we need a scene where people appear to be walking on air, barrier blocks are going to be ideal for it. Unfortunately, barrier blocks can't be broken. So, I've also edited another command. I would have added this command separately, but I could not figure out how. So I've hijacked another command. So it's item frame invisible. So this now makes item frames invisible, but also if you're stood in a barrier block, it breaks the barrier block. It does destroy the barrier block as well. I probably could have given the player a barrier block as part of it, but no. It's all farmable. It's fine. It is fine. So then we're going to finish off with the fast ones, stuff that we can get through nice and quickly, and stuff that is going to be great for sets and for recording. First of all, animated doors. It doesn't just suddenly come open, it slowly swings open. Well, not that slowly, but it does swing open. If I get some double doors, there we go. Get some double doors, you only need to click on one of them and they both open together. It's nice. So that's animated doors. Did not mean to pick up those petals. We also have emote craft. So if I go to all emotes, we can make our own emotes. I don't yet know how, but I know that we can. And then we can have our own little custom motions, which of course, for filming stuff, that's going to be so useful. The fact that we can make the characters move in ways they wouldn't normally be able to. We've got some great building stuff. So if I grab some fences, this works for walls and glass panes as well, which is why the glass panes don't have connected textures. You can connect them across as normal, but also diagonally. We've got diagonal fences, diagonal walls. It's just good fun. And again, it makes things look a bit nicer. As well as that, let's grab some planks. We can make regular slabs, but we can also make vertical slabs. Vertical slabs in Minecraft, every builder's dream. That actually looks quite nice as a border. I might have to use that at some point. I'm going to put this in my random stuff chest. We also, just 3 more to show, we're almost there. I do have one of these somewhere. Nature's Compass. So, you might, when you're building a set, you might want to go to a specific biome. So let's say I wanted to find a bamboo jungle. I can start the search and it's now going to point me towards the closest bamboo jungle. And it tells me it's about 1,500 blocks away, so I'm not going to travel all that distance. But as well as that, it might not be the size that you want. Maybe there might be other biomes there. Maybe there's a bit of your build where you want a specific grass colour or something like that, because they all depend on the biome. So we've got a permissions mod where we can allow people to use certain commands, so everybody on the server has access to the film biome command, which is just going to be nice and useful. So then, one more mod, the one that we haven't tested yet. I really hope this one works. We're going to go far away for this. But if I grab in here, no, in here, if I grab a block of TNT and then a lever, I'm excited for this. I want to see how good this looks. Let's go to the mining desert. That's nice and far away, not going to be used. I'm going to go away from the sand onto the sandstone. Probably over there is best because I know there's a lot of stuff exposed. Well, we have the explosive enhancement mod. So we are going out with a bang, hopefully. If you enjoyed the episode, please leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. My name is Weird and Bearded, and I will see you all next time. Oh yes!